Draft time. Brothers War, still a good set in my opinion. Been hearing a lot of people complaining, but I am not one of them. Over the top. I think this card's a little over the top for my deck, which is non-existent, but still not first picking that. So we don't have anything good at all at uncommon. We're missing quite a few good cards. Like there's nothing great in this pack, so I'm trying to say. I think I'm gonna take the Opportunist as it's the best card. Clay Revenant fits in a bunch of decks. Uh, even Iron Claw, Crusher's okay, but the Opportunist makes a Power Stone and 3 mana 3/2. It's pretty good, pretty good. That's where I'll go. Overwhelming Remorse jumps out to me right away as the best card in the pack. Yep, I have no doubts that I'm happy with this pick. That's where I'm at. Alright, not that I'm committed to these colors or anything. I think Combat Thresher is the best card in the pack, but I mean, the Bailoff is in our colors and is also very good. I think it's a close second. I like it, I like it. Yep, that's where I'm at. What about here? Evolving Wilds. It's a good card. Don't really care about drawing cards, not at this point. Giant Growth is a pretty good 1-mana trick. It's actually considerable. Thraxo Demon, not really in any kind of sack theme yet. But maybe I want us to stay in green. I could take Evolving Wilds now. They tend not to come around too often. This card's good, but it's, a 4-mana aura. Just kind of spells blowout. I'll grab Evolving Wilds if there's nothing great in the pack, and maybe we'll splash a color. Oh, there's another Evolving Wilds. However, there's also much better cards in this pack. Boulder Branch Golem, probably the best prototype card. I think it's close to the Croc Crusher. Maybe that's what I want. 2/5's got a big butt. I think it's close. I think it's the best one at common for sure, but probably just a little bit under the power of the Croc Crusher. So that's what I'll take. Yep. I'm almost mono green right now, but my one card in black is really good. Ooh. Epic Confrontation is good. The Sprite is also good. And then the Cohort is also really good. But we're not in any kind of white right now, so I'll just take the Confrontation. I like this card. This enchant is also good. I will grab the Cohort now and just throw it in the sideboard. Then if ever we end up splashing white, like, it's a great splash card because its white cost is just in the unearth. Boulder Branch or Scrapwork Rager. I think the Scrapwork is better. I like drawing cards. I don't know about you guys. We'll sideboard a Clay Revenant. Probably end up playing one. We always want something at 1 drop. Shoot down a Rust Goliath. I think I'll take the high end. It's going straight to the sideboard for now because we're not sure what our deck's going to look like by the end of our draft. And you don't want to commit to playing those big cards. So I'm just going to grab the best card in the pack, even though it's not in my colors, in the Juggernaut here. This card's okay, but I don't think it's good, so the Juggernaut could end up splashing red. We don't really know. Again, same thing. Gonna grab the best card in the pack. I don't think I will be playing any kind of red-black sack or red sack, but Maybe I should beat the Trench Stalker on account of that. We have a Scrapwork Rager already that synergizes. Maybe we could find a couple more. Oh, we don't care about anything in here. Don't have to hate draft since it's a quick draft and we're just drafting with bots. Oh. Well. That's kind of a huge bomb. And we could pay with that ability with Power Stones. That's something to keep in mind. We have one thing that makes Power Stones so far. Here's where you gotta make a decision. Is this card good enough that you would switch from green-black with a Scrapwork Rager and an Overwhelming Remorse to green-white? We do have one other reason in the Scrapwork cohort to go white. So I'm actually going to do this here. Scrapwork Rager out, Remorse out, and I'll take In the Trenches. And now we are in the trenches. Our deck is much different than it was a moment ago. We're happy to play weenie-ish cards. This card's okay, but we're not playing any soldiers, right? No, except the cohort. Makes it a lot worse. So we'll grab the Stalwart. We'll always want one at least. There's nothing else we want here. Good chance this card wheels all the way back to us, though. But still, we'll take it. Here, I guess it's just recommission. Maybe we want to consider the giant growth. Artifact or creature. The Argothian, yeah, Opportunist is a good target. There's nothing we really want in the pack otherwise, so I'll sideboard a recommission for now. How many artifacts are we playing here? Just 1, 2? It's not a lot. Have any assembly workers in the sideboard? Just a mine worker. I'll grab a self-assembler. Keep my eyes open for more of them. They get really good in multiples. I think this is good. This is better. We'll grab a second Croc Crusher. Very good. The Chaplain's good. We'll find a creature for us. Yeah, that card's good. What about here? A little tempting to grab another piece of the Assembly Worker Parade. Especially when you consider that neither of these two green cards are good in our deck. So I'll just sideboard this. And I'll dream. I will dream that I'll see more. The Sprite is good. We definitely want this. We want to grab things that make us Power Stones right now too. The Audacity might be better. We have 7 creatures. This is a great late game creature and a normal early game creature. We'll get the Audacity. We care about drawing cards, like all other decks. Energy Refractor in the sideboard since there's nothing we want here. Maybe there'll be some Black Bomb to pull us back into 3 colors at the end. We do have an Evolving Wilds already. I'm sorry I'm picking fast. I'm not talking about what I'm doing. It's just the last few picks are mostly irrelevant. It just goes fast. Well, let's see. This card is very good. If there are 3 more creature cards in your graveyard, draw a card. That should be relevant most of the time. But then there's also Hero of the Dunes. It comes in and it grabs something with 3 CMC from the graveyard to the battlefield, creature or artifact. I don't have too many great targets, but I still think it's really good. And I do feel incentivized to play black because of the overwhelming remorse. So, as usual, I'm going 3 colors. I can't help it. It's just ingrained in me. Play the good cards, and the good cards are not just 2 colors. I don't like this pack. It sucks. There's a lot of good cards, and I want none of them. Which leaves me feeling a bit regretful. Guess I'll take this. It could kill a thing, maybe. It's an artifact. I don't know. Mask of the Jade Crafters, I like that. I also like the Scrapwork Rager. It's always like that. You have a pack with nothing you want, then a pack with multiple things you want. But I'll take the Jade Crafter. Ooh. This card's very good and limited. Do we have enough cards that trigger it? We have one, the Jade Crafter triggers it potentially twice. Yeah, this does. Even the Cohort does because it makes a 1/1. And even the Hero of the Dunes does because it grabs something out of the graveyard. So okay, I'll grab the Welcome. It's just a good card. Oh my god. What are the odds of opening or of getting back to back the same rare? Pick 5 too. There's some weird things that go on in these quick drafts. Well, I'll pick it up. And now I'm incentivized to play things with CMC 3 or less even more because all of a sudden we got Hero of the Dunes and 2 copies of the Welcome. So creatures with 3 or less mana are in. This guy's a lot better than he was in the last pack too because now I'm playing this artifact creature and Mask of the Jade Crafters. I'm not playing blue. This is a good cycle. I'll sideboard a Gaia's Gift. It's a really good combat trick. One of the best right now. This is good too. We're fine to play a second one now that we really care about the color fixing. There's nothing good in this pack, so I'll grab this 3/1 human and just throw it in the sideboard. Power plant worker. Okay. And from here on, we're not playing anything probably, so we'll just sideboard everything quickly and get to the deck building process. So, we are on the 3-color plan. So the first thing we want to do is we want to bring back in our really good black cards that we took out at the beginning of pack 2 in Overwhelming Remorse and Scrapwork Rager. We're playing 3 colors. We have 2 instances of fixing. We're at 12 creatures. I could bring in one of each of these. It's basically, if you get all 3 of those, they get a lot better, and then you have a self-assembler that tutors for any one of them. It's a consideration. 2 of them are CMC 3 or less, which we care about for multiple reasons. 2 times Cassia Welcome, and 1 time Heroes of the Dunes. But let's just look and see if there's anything else that would be better to play. I don't feel like I'm missing out on any bomby cards. I feel like Military Discipline is actually a lot better than you think at first glance. Maybe I want to take out these Croc Crushers since they're not on theme and I don't really care at all about artifacts. Maybe just a tiny bit. With the Croc Crushers out, we have 14 creatures. That's pretty good. We could take a recommission. since we have a lot of targets here, and recurring value of creatures that are 3 or less is really good to get our triggers, so we'll take one of those. The first copy is always way better than the second copy with cards like that. Then either another creature that's 3 or less or a Gaia's Gift. Military Discipline is good too, but what about Clay Revenant? We don't really care about Clay Revenant. We don't have any sacrifice stuff. He's a chump blocker, but we're not really at risk of getting ran over with this low-end deck anyways. So I'll take the Gaia's Gift and play 14 creatures. Cool with me. This is the first time I've put Tower Worker, Mine Worker, or /and Power Plant Worker in a deck. And I think it fits in this one. These two synergize with these two cards and the Hero of the Dunes, and then Self-Assembler makes them all better because it could tutor for whichever one you're missing, or in a lot of cases just whichever one you want. And then yeah, it just feels good. It feels like we're just playing Abzan green cards. Abzan, wait, again? Didn't I just do that? Heh, I regret nothing. Alright, Abzan draft game 1. So far undefeated. So far 0 games played. Okay, we have one piece of the budget Tron. We have some ramp, and now we have all of our colors. So we just chill. Don't get ran over. Opponent has no blue mana. So I guess I don't mind trading with the combat courier and just recommissioning next turn. It's probably better than doing nothing. But at the same time, I think I'd rather the Stalwart trade for the Mutt than the 1/1. So I'll just take the 1. Taking the more defensive line. Mainly since I don't have any plays in hand. Nothing I could really do the next few turns till I get my mana up. That works out a lot better for me anyways. I'd rather trade like that. Oh, I should have read the card. I was thinking it was a blue mana to sacrifice it, but it's just a blue mana to unearth it. Pretty strong double spell turn. Mine Worker and Recommission. It's not the best recommission target. However, it's not terrible either. Oh. Share a card type. So artifact creatures. So artifacts and creatures cost 2 less. Pretty good. Tempting to just kill that. But definitely just attack with both here. We're happy to see that one go, since now we're just Tower Worker away from assembling Tron. Assembly Worker would also do it since we tutor. Pretty happy board state with a removal spell in hand, but opponent getting a lot of value from Semblance. Whoa, Self-Assembler, hello. Okay, first thing I do is I attack with the Power Plant Worker, and I offer the trade. He doesn't do it, so I won't buff him. I'll play the self-assembler. Take the action. This is pretty lucky. I assume this does not happen very often, that you're playing one of each of these and you get them all assembled. Vigilance, Ward 4, that's an expensive ward cost. The reason I'm inclined to block is because I want Overwhelming Remorse to cost less. Let me think about this. If I block, Overwhelming Remorse cost 3, at which point if I draw a land, I could pay Ward 4. So just draw an untapped land, and I could exile this monstrous thing. That's a tapped land, unfortunately. So we'll play that. We'll put Evolving Wilds into play. And we'll just pass the turn. Then we could use our mana to grow the power plant worker, as well as gain some extra life with the mine worker. Cast that one from his hand. We'll do no blocks. We don't want to lose our Pseudotron. Okay, put 2 counters on him. He's got no cards in hand, so we know about everything he could do. Gain 3 life. And we'll go fetch a black. May as well. Let's see what we draw. Activate only once per turn. Alright, so we just pay out all of our mana. And we pay word. That's an expensive cost, but definitely worth it. Thanks, opponent. I'm feeling pretty happy with this. We'll grow our boy into an 8/8. Opponent has stuff to do. It's got some good unearth value, although he's got no blue. Two chump blockers is really good for him. I don't have trample here. I do have that one card that gives trample in this deck, Audacity, the 1 mana green enchantment. Let's see what he draws. Oh, wait, it's optional. It's a pillage, actually. Oh, game 1, easy peasy. Game 2. Let's see some good stuff. I consider this good stuff. It's definitely slow, but once we get to the cards we get to cast, they're good cards. He returns a land, so it's just a 1/1. We're happy to see that in this case. Gives him card advantage, but it also means we're not going to get ran over, which is my primary concern. Even here, it's like 3 damage. Not that scary. I think I'd rather draw cards each turn. But it's actually, nah, I'm gonna go like this. And I'll explain the reason. If I play Takasia's Welcome, I don't get a trigger this turn. Next turn, I could play the Welcome and have a mana left to get my instant trigger from the Might. then I save myself from at least 3 damage. So, taking a turn off in exchange for losing 1 card draw down the line, it's not a really big deal, especially when you consider that you want a double spell when you have 4 mana anyways. Like I would have wanted to play the Perimeter and the Haywire, and then only gotten 1 trigger from the Welcome. So we're not losing out on very much. We'll give opponent the option to double block us. He chooses not to. Ooh. That's scary. I think I'll keep him to block something bigger later. Play the Cohort. Get our card draw. And we'll play Evolving Wilds. And we'll attack with the 5 damage here. We've got 2 artifacts triggers, so he's a 3-drop who's gotten in for 4 and then 5. Nah, for a 3-drop who's done 9 damage, we're pretty happy with that. I'll sack the land now to go get a swamp, because I'm a bad player, and I don't mind. Now, does opponent continue the aggression? All my creatures are 1 toughness. It's a little painful for me. Oh, gives himself lifelink. Should definitely attack with the 1/1s since I'm not incentivized at all to block them. I guess I will, since there's not much else to do. But opponent's played well to protect himself from the race. Damn. I say damn despite it being a good card, because we really want to draw something 3 CMC or less to draw 2 cards. Play the Welcome, then play the 3 CMC. It would have been more mana efficient, and it would have drawn 2 cards, of course. Okay. Next turn, though, I'll have 7 mana, which means all this unearth cost is 3, so that's fine. So if the Cohort dies, then next turn I'm guaranteed to draw 2 cards with the Welcome. I play the Welcome, I unearth him. When the token comes in, I draw 2 cards. Opponent might not want to attack. If the Cohort doesn't die, I could still hope to draw something else, 3 CMC or less. And since I didn't, I'll just attack with the Cohort and give opponent the option to kill it. I lose a little bit of board presence, but I mean, you gotta do things to do things, right? You gotta spend money to make money. I hope that I draw some more lands. That's really where I'm at right now. Need some of these lands. On the bright side, we got a Mine Worker. Double trigger for the Welcomes. Yeah, we're sitting pretty. Don't have any targets for that, so that's fine. I still gain 2 life. Okie dokie. Do a double block. I assume he eats the bailiff. Oof. That hurts. It hurts, but we're not out of it by any means. I was going to play this, but maybe I want to make the biggest thing I can since I have all this mana. It will still trigger the welcome, despite it doesn't matter how big I make it. I can make it a 6/6. So I think that's the play here. Make a 6/6. Draw 2 cards. Go. Mm-hmm. It's pretty efficient. Getting pillage stuff with haste. We do have one good block no matter what. Opponent's in a position where he has board state, and I have card advantage. So the fact that he's not attacking is amazing for us. Let's go Mine Worker first. Draw 2. Okay. Then... Only 15 cards left in our library. I think what I want to do is I want to draw cards until I hit the Power Worker or the Tower Worker. Then tutor for the last one. So I'll play Hero of the Dunes. And I'll bring back probably the Mask. I'll do the Mask. And then I'll play Audacity onto my big golem. And then I'll attack. This gives him good option to, you know, do favorable double blocks and stuff. But when it dies, I get to draw. And it tramples a bit of damage too. So 2 for 1, get our draw, and then I'll just play out my hand since I have so much card advantage. 14 cards left. That's a bit of a bomb. That thing's unearthed. So it's gone after this anyways. Opponent's got the right idea. He definitely wants to be pressuring me before I beat him, but I don't know if I'm going to beat him before I mill myself out. I'm at 14 cards in library, and this is not a May. Here are the Dunes doing work here, making my 1/1 trade up. Damn, okay. I want to leave up at least 2 mana after doing Mask of the Jade Crafter. So we'll go... Oh, we have 10 mana, so we'll make this for 8. First, let's untap all our lands. And it's going to leave us up a green with confrontation. Draw 2 cards. There's a power plant worker, so now we know which one we want to tutor for. And what is the ward? Sacrifice a permanent? Well, I have enough land, so I don't mind doing that. When this one dies, returns a permanent through less to the battlefield. It's not the worst thing, but I mean, then he could also ping something for 1 damage. So I don't want that. So I guess I'll get rid of his 4/4. That gives the ward. Wait, is it non-land permanent? Oh, okay, good. Alright, played the turn a little slow there. But I had lots to think about. That's good for opponent. He gets to filter and do that. But at least next turn when I exile the puppeteer with the remorse, he won't get the dies trigger because it's never gonna die. And now we're gaining life. Okay, we don't need to tutor for him. So let's do this thing. Oh, we need our black mana, dude. Into this thing. Draw 2 cards. And now we don't want to draw any more cards because we're at 8. We'll attack with this guy. And we'll give him the option to double block. And then blow him out with Overwhelming Remorse if he blocks with the Puppeteer. It's just too much card advantage. Opponent's deck did its thing. He was fast enough to, get good board state, but he didn't pressure me. He should have definitely been a little bit more aggressive. Gets to discard a land if he wants. Once he triggers this ability, I will kill the Puppeteer in response, so he doesn't get that trigger. Yep. And we have the Tron assembled. 2 games in a row. Seems madly insane. We'll just tap the Mine Worker to gain 3 life. Pretty successful. Well, he probably blows up the Mine Worker since it has 1 toughness, and yep. Now we lose our whole Tron thing. And we definitely cast Recommission at the beginning, right? Didn't I? Maybe that was last game. So I do have a Recommission I could draw that will get Tron reassembled. But let's just focus on how to win now. 11 mana. Let's attack with these 2. Let's see what kind of opponent, kind of blocks he wants to do. Maybe he's just in pure survival mode, wants to chump. Alright, so now we want to go wide. We'll make a 4/4. Oh yeah, we have it in the trenches. That's the whole reason we went white. Maybe we'll draw this next turn and then opponent will scoop it up. Don't even want to draw cards. Sucks. Really sucks. Alright. I'm not going to cast this even though I have the mana, because I don't want the draw 2 trigger. And then next turn, I'll cast multiple creatures that are 3 or less. And it'll only trigger once. So I'll draw 2 more, but I'll mill myself out much slower. Opponent with a good death touch creature. Well, that's a good combat trick. Alright, so I'll go like this. And now we're not drawing any more cards for the rest of the game. We'll recommission, we'll bring back the Mine Worker, right? Yeah. Now the Tower Worker taps for 3. So we'll bring this back there. We want to leave ourselves with 2 mana. This is 1. So we have 1 floating and go 4 or 5. So do that for 5. And he taps an untapped creature, so it could be something with sickness. I've got to put the pressure on, but I do have a couple turns. So let's not do any bad attacks. I guess. I guess he's the only one that can attack, and then he just kills it with a Death Toucher. But I do have Gaia's Gift for that. So I'll probably just protect him with the Gaia's Gift. We're on 15 lands. That means there's 2 more in these 3 cards. Oh no. Wait, we have 1 in the graveyard? And an Evolving Wilds. So there's none. There's no lands in our deck. That's great. It means we're going to get a good draw no matter what. That's what we want, baby. Hit opponent with the good game. Buff the whole squad. We'll get rid of this biggest thing. Then we swing out. It was a long one. Very, very long game of limited 20 minutes. I'm glad I didn't play this one out at the card store on paper. Probably would have given myself a bit of a headache. GG. Tron. Once again. 2-0, undefeated. Let's see if it continues. Looks keepable to me. I'm pretty harsh on mulliganing and limited. If it's playable, it's keepable. Oof. So, if opponent's in artifacts, which he's probably Simic artifacts based on this card, that card is really good. I think it's worth killing. I'm using one of my few premium removal spells I have in the deck. Pretty early on, but I can't be letting them profit off that. Nothing to do, but that's okay. At least we're looking at a nice Scrapwork Rager next turn. This thing here would trigger off of the Burnished Heart, but also Power Stones. I assume he's playing a lot of artifacts with mana value 6 or more. It's kind of the theme of his deck. This Haywire might be this might be pretty good. This is the kind of deck that might play some non-creature artifacts and enchantments for a good amount of value. Opponent has 4 mana up. I'll just attack with the Cohort. If he blocks with a Burnished Heart, then triggers it, I will cast my spells. Otherwise, I'll pass the turn. That's good. I do not want to just walk Self-Assembler into some sort of cheap counterspell. That would feel really bad. I could also double spell, play the Rager, and then put Audacity on it. That's pretty good, actually. We're already fine with the Rager dying at any time. Now we care even less because we draw a card when he dies, and he trades well with what opponent currently has on board, being a 1/3. Opponent is super ramped though. 7 lands. Let's see a nice bomb for us to Overwhelming Remorse away. This side's not too. So won't make any decisions until we see what he's got lined up for combat. We'll attack with the 2. Decides to take 7 damage. Okay. Oh, I don't get my Scry or my Death Trigger. Top is probably best for the Scrapwork Rager. Desynchronize. Matched up really well there. At least we still get in for 3 damage. Oh, we do get our Audacity trigger. It's when it's put in the graveyard. Cool. And now we go for card advantage. It's definitely a good line to pass with Overwhelming Remorse up, assuming opponent is gonna play something big. But the sooner this card comes into play and starts triggering, the better. Opponent gets to draw both of the cards he scryed to the top. So now I'm fairly certain he's going to play something very big for me to Overwhelming Remorse, which will get me in for damage one more time, but it does leave me a little bit scared. Scared of a second big body that we can't get past. Oh, shoot down. Perhaps there is no big body this turn. Okay, great. So we'll attack with the Scrapwork. See if opponent has anything. He doesn't. I want to play in the trenches, but he does have 3 mana with a blue. And scryed a bunch of stuff to the top. What is he doing? I'll just double spell like this. I'll go Scrapwork Rager into Mine Worker. I'm slow rolling it here. Don't want opponent to see my stuff. Stern lesson, okay. Now, I bet you the reason that he didn't cast his big creatures because it must be one of the Rust Goliaths. I don't know what it's actually called. It's the 10/10 that costs 10 mana. And he was just a few mana short from casting it. Now he's on 10 mana if he plays a land. Well, 10 mana with the 2 Power Stones. So let's see, is my prediction right? Is it the big old 10/10? 10/10 reach trample. How good is my read? He's counting how much mana he has to do the Mask of the Jade Crafter. He can make it a 7/7. Makes it a 6/6 instead. Maybe he can't math. Maybe he has 1 blue mana for something. Okay. We go like this. Tower Worker. And we use the Stalwart to tap the Tower Worker to go into the trenches. And now the Power Stone Prodigy has no good blocks. So we attack with all, and we accept our fate of having opponent getting 1 good block on us. 1 favorable block for him. But it doesn't matter because we're so wide with a premium removal spell in hand that next turn we kill his biggest thing, swing out again, and that's the game, right? He's on 4. We also have an activation of Into the Trenches. Into the Trenches. Into the Trenches. Into the Trenches sounds a bit better to me. Sound. Do, do, do. It's lethal, right? Just get rid of that. Then he's got 3 blocks. Blocks my 3 biggest. 6 still goes through. So even if he has removal for one of my creatures at instant speed, he still dies. It would be cool if opponent played like an instant speed Union of the Third Path, gained 3 life, went to 1. But he can't pull it off. GG. Let's see. This is a keeper. We got a bomb. 3% way too loud. That's better. And our 3rd color. Isn't that nice? I'll probably play the Chaplain before the Trenches. That's fine. Didn't really need a Plains anyways. Happy to mill away 3 lands there. That could be a game decider, getting a little lucky on the mill. So, I'll play the Mine Worker. And then I'll tap the Mine Worker with the Stalwart for 3rd mana. I'll get in for 3 in the air. Very aggressive start by us. There's always multiple ways to pilot the same deck, and it's always going to change based on your draws. And this draw was super aggressive, so you gotta just go with it. I think I offer the trade here, or I don't actually. Maybe I just play my cohort. He's a great blocker. I get in for 3 in the air, and I just passively gain life with Mine Worker, while slowly working towards the possibility of Power Plant Worker. Well, that puts a bit of a stop on our plan. Ah, it doesn't. We have our bomb. Into the trenches. What a good card. This was the whole reason that we switched from... We completely changed colors and went into white because of In the Trenches. And I'd already had this cohort in the sideboard, thinking ahead that, you know, there's no other good card in the pack. May as well pick this up and maybe something will pull us into white, which is exactly what ended up happening, and we got rewarded for that play. A lot of decisions in draft will really make a big difference later down the game. We have to be worried a little bit here about 3 Power Stones. He's got 9 mana. If he plays a land next turn, he could play a 10/10 Goliath. That would be rough. We'll get in for some damage here. We'll see if he wants to block the cohort. He does. Makes sense. Now we'll play the Patrol and the Tower Worker. We'll probably play the Jadecraft, but not cast it, or not crack it until the next turn, so that we could crack it for as big as possible. Well, I'm happy to see that, considering we're fearing the 10/10 Rest Goliath. That would be pretty sad if I exiled the prototype version, he destroys it, and it comes back as a 10/10. Trample and haste. I can afford to take some damage here. He wants to get aggressive. I'm not going to block. Opponent decides against it, probably wisely. This perimeter patrol is awesome. The 7/4. Well, this is dead anyway, so we get attack with that too. Though I expect him to chump that one. What an amazing performance by our deck. Feels good to draw into what you need. These are the moments we love the game. Ooh. That is a big card. Is opponent dead if I swing out? Oh, well. He is now. Say he blocks my 3 biggest. Yeah, it's just lethal. I don't need to do anything fancy here. Good game. Hesitated a little bit before full swinging out, but just wanted to make sure I wasn't throwing the game. GG. Another abs in draft. I wonder why I just end up in these colors every time. It's so strange. Good hand. We get our in the trenches again. No second white for it, but we could always, evolving walls for a white and then use the stalwart. Tap another creature. Audacity's a good draw. Though we don't want to lose the stalwart. Putting Audacity on him kind of gives the opponent initiative to kill it. But drawing the second stalwart there is great. I'll slow play it properly for once. Alright. Opponent's game plan is clear as day. Ah, great draw on the white mana. Get to slam that and get in for 2. Next we'll probably play the cohort. In the trenches makes cohort go from a good card to an amazing card. But if opponent slams a counterspell, we do feel pretty sad. We'll go to combat first. Let him make decisions. That's fine. If he counters it, he counters it. Rewarded. Just can't afford to play around that kind of stuff in limited. Well, at least he gave us the most beautiful target for in the trenches. Hopefully he doesn't slam another one of those 4/5s. Trench Stalker. I think people are sleeping on Trench Stalker a little bit. Opponent's doing well to play it, for sure. Self-Assembler. That's good. Alright, I'll go like this. I'll play Self-Assembler first. I'll search for the more aggressive one. And then I'll tap the Self-Assembler. With the Stalwart to be mana efficient. And then he gets a free block on that Stalwart, but that's alright. We get in for 4, which is the same amount of damage as if we swung out. But now we have Audacity on this soldier, 4/2 Trampler. Nice 3-minute win. Abs and aggro. Let's go. We're just 2 wins away from a 7-0. Not very often I pull a 7-0. This is a regrettable hand here. We have amazing cards. All 5 of our cards are incredible. But only 2 lands. I hate to do this, but I'm gonna mulligan because it's probably the higher win rate play. It's better. All three of our cards are worse than any one of the 5 cards we had before, but we have 2 playables. Before, if we just didn't draw a land, there's a good chance that we do nothing, and especially because we're on the play, we don't get to draw first. There's just too much that can go wrong. Here, at least we got a turn 2 mine worker into a turn 3 perimeter patrol. Won't get ran over, and now our faith is in the deck. Oh, wise deck, please be kind to me. Feels bad that this game's already almost as long as last game, and we're not even on turn 2 yet. Well, his turn 1 play matches really well with my turn 2 play. Painful so far. We're happy that he attacks there. Opponent with all the 1/1s. We just chill. We'll gain our life with the mine worker before we untap. This, well, you actually want this to die very badly. Takasia's Welcome, In the Trenches. There's a lot of cards that Haywire Might is really good against in our deck. So, opponent on the Simic game plan. For now, since I have nothing to do, I'll just keep the mine worker back for the gain life trigger once per turn. It sucks that we mulliganed because we only had 2 lands, and then our 3-lander drew us no lands. This is the whole reason we mulliganed, it's not to get land screwed. I guess we did put 1 on the bottom, but I'm not gonna keep 4 lands on the play. Though if I put back the recommission, it would have been really good now. I would have got to play Scrapwork Cohort. The patrol would have 5 power, and my board would be wide. Ah well. I'm sure we'll draw a white or a black next turn. Oh man, opponent really slow rolling us every turn. I'll say hello. Hello. Good card, good card. I'm incentivized to block that. Like I was saying, Takasia's Welcome. For 1 green mana, which he now has access to, he could blow it up. Well, at least that makes white mana for next turn. Here I am taking 3-second turns while opponent's taking 3-minute turns every turn. Attaboy. Way to get in there. Spend some of that mana, please. Thank you. And it sucks to take a turn off to do that. But I almost have to, right? Like, I got to start drawing cards. Okay, opponent gets in for 5 or 6 here. Okay. Got no choice. Please draw a land. Kind of unbelievable, right? 13 cards deep. We've technically seen 4 lands because I put one on the bottom. But 6 draws, 0 lands. I think that's roughly a 0.04, 0.0, maybe just a 0.1% chance of not happening, or of not drawing any lands. In any case, it's low. Okay. Definitely block the Recluse. Oh, does he put the cohort on the bottom? Well done, well done. Trigger, trigger. There's some white mana. That's great. Probably slam Hero of the Dunes. Make a black mana with him. Grab that. Draw a card. And turn it on. Let's go. Does opponent want to trade, or is opponent thinking about the value of his 2 cards? They're both quite valuable. The Adept will keep growing, the Mechanic will keep growing. I think he should trade with the Mechanic. It's probably the better play. If he gets a Thought Brew out of it, stops 5 damage, that's the most important part. Good job, opponent. You figured it out. It's pretty strong. Pretty strong. So I'm gonna go like this. We'll get rid of that, so we get very aggressive. And I'll recommission the patrol. Line us up for a win next turn. I mean, we'll miss out on 4 damage doing this, but we'll still get in for 6, put him at 10. Either put him at 10 now and grow the board, or put him to 6 now and don't grow the board. I think I'm better off growing the board. Plus it gets us a card draw, it gets us deeper. Get in for 6. Opponent says good game. Does he have 5 extra damage in his pocket? I'll say good game. I don't know what he's talking about. We're gonna win with Gaia's Gift, probably. It gives it trample. So he'll chump the smallest thing. Or sorry, the biggest thing with the small thing. And I'll trample that. And then that should give us the last points of damage. Okay, it's 4 mana up. Very scary stuff. But I have 5 mana here, so I'll play the Jade Crafter just to trigger the perimeter patrol. It tapped double green. Oh, this game, man. Now I can't cast Audacity. But that's okay. I'll make a 1/1 to trigger the perimeter patrol again. And that'll also trigger the Takacia's Welcome, which probably won't matter. And attack with all. Alright, so he untaps that. And what does he block with it? Yeah, he chumps there. Give it trample, win. Good game. Jerk. Opponent trying to fake me out by saying good game, so I make a bad play and just attack with all without thinking about it. It's a pretty low move, kind of scummy, but we still win, so it is what it is. This is it. Game 7. Let's just not get land screwed and get our 7-0. It's a little bit slow, I suppose, but definitely keeping it. The Dream. All of our basic lands. No color fixing required. Might be good when you could just get lucky. There's a small chance we'll get aggroed out here, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Scrapwork Mutt, great card. People were not realizing how good it was. Now that people know, you see it a lot. I think this is a fine trade here. Our guy came in, made us a Power Stone. Gaia's Gift? Yeah. Oh well. We'll play the Cohort. And we'll put Audacity on the Cohort so that he trades up with the Engineer. And then when he dies, he draws us a card. And there's the Recluse. No attacks. Excellent. Hero of the Dunes. Grab our Opportunist. Make a Power Stone. And we'll attack, right? Scrapwork Mutt will trade with it. Or maybe he does the Recluse trade with it so that he could exile it from my graveyard. Or not really exile, put it on the bottom. It goes like that. That's good. We get in for 4, draw a card. And we'll play the Haywire. See, even though it seems like a bad trade because we trade our 5-1 for a 2-1, it's important to get the mud off the battlefield because a 2-1 trades with all of our creatures really well. Tempted to trade with it. Tempted to just chump block it. Chump or trade? Let's trade. I really think we're gonna win if this game goes late. So the most important thing right now is to protect our life total. Now, we have a pretty good double spell turn here. I think it'll be Perimeter Patrol and Scrapwork Rager. Gets us deeper into our library, gets us going wide. That's good, we want to hit all our land drops. And then next turn when we Scrapwork Cohort, we'll get Trigger on the Perimeter Patrol. Didn't expect the swing out. Maybe I should have. Maybe I want to just take 7. Just take 7 and get aggressive myself. That seems good here. Opponent really needs to play a blocker or else he's in trouble. Maybe he didn't realize. Okay, so I'll unearth the Cohort. Trigger. Then I'll play the Mine Worker. Give myself another trigger. And then Plains. Chaplain. I've gone too wide here. Thanks, opponent. Milled some good cards, but we're not upset. We just swing out with the team. Good game. We did it. The actual 7-0. Maybe this is why I draft Absan every time. It's just the best. Yes. 950 in 2 packs. Profiting. Let's open them up. Well, better luck next time. At least we get some wildcard progress. Thanks a lot for watching. Cheers.